Hi, I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and today we're going to be chatting with Mark Hake. He's from InvestorPlace, and we're going to be talking with him about some SPACs that are interesting in the market right now, and a couple of really hot SPACs that I know you guys are interested in because I can see why you came here. Yeah, it records the things you search whenever you click on the video. So chapter points are up next, then we'll hear from Mark. So Mark, what's your take on the CCIV Lucid rumors?
Right now, there is no definitive agreement between the two companies. There is no letter of intent between the two companies, and there's nothing prohibiting Lucid Motors from doing a straight IPO, as far as I can tell. So the fact that CCIV stock has gone from 10 to over 20 some dollar, $22 is unbelievable in my mind. I mean, I guess somebody on the inside knows that is some kind of deal, but the Saudis who control the company, the Saudi investment fund that controls it, has the final decision to make whether they want to take it public via the IPO route or they want to go through a SPAC route, where they basically have the SPAC route provides a lot of advantages to a company like Lucid. They will know for sure how much money the private equity fund that they get to do the pipe deal and the SPAC itself will provide the company. So they know ahead of time, they can plan, they can get their CapEx going. They can even do a bridge loan based on the fact that they know the deal is going to go through, because the Saudis would control the company, and then they could just simply have the annual meeting, or the special meeting would just be a pro forma thing. With an IPO route, they don't know exactly what the price would be, how much money they would get. And so I can see why the SPAC deal in this case would be very attractive.
A lot of people that are clicking on our channel are interested in THCB, and you wrote an article about that a couple of weeks ago. How do you feel about that SPAC?
This is a very difficult one. I find this one to be very strange. In fact, I was just brushing up on it again for this meeting, for our meeting. This company, Microvast, which is a battery storage company based in China, has a letter of intent with THCB, Tuscan Holdings. But as of today, and that letter of intent was in November, but as of today, I don't see that they have signed any kind of definitive agreement. I don't even see that there's a presentation on the deal. This is very strange. I find it very strange. In fact, the SEC just came out and said, look, or I'm sorry, the exchange just came out and said, why haven't you had an annual meeting? They are trying to get they're trying to have I think they had a special meeting to get the deal time frame extended to April. In other words, they have already passed the time where the SPAC has to close shop, but they've reached an agreement with their shareholders to extend that to April. So I guess they're still trying to work out the definitive agreement. There's some very fishy things going on here, and I don't understand why they haven't signed a definitive agreement, why there's no slide presentation, why we can't look into the particulars of the deal. So investors that have been pushing up this stock might want to be a little bit more careful. I did write about it in InvestorPlace, assuming that the deal would go through, and that was when the stock was around 17. But we don't know whether or not, for example, there's going to be a pipe deal associated with this, whether they're going to get more money than just the 250 million that's in the bank. Proceed with caution, I would say, with that stock.
So what other SPACs should we be paying attention to?
One that I really like is Newborn Acquisition. And now a little bit disclosure here, I have a stake in that stock. It is a SPAC merger deal with a San Diego-based electric charging company called Nuvve, Nuvve. Nuvve is a new type of electric vehicle charging company that allows vehicles and fleets of vehicles, including typically bus fleets and things like that, to bring their electricity back to the grid. It's called V2G, vehicle to grid. So they can actually make money. So while the buses and the fleets are sitting around, the grid can use some of their electricity. And also people can do that too. So this is a technology that's used a lot in Europe, and now it's coming to the US via the San Diego company. It's essentially a charging company. So my theory is, okay, why is it so cheap? Based on my numbers in the InvestorPlace article that I'm coming out with soon, you'll see that it's trading for around 9.9 times EV to sales. Whereas if you compare that to Blink and ChargePoint, i.e. through Switchback Energy, SBE, which sells for around 59 times EV to sales, you can see that newborn/Nuvi, and the new symbol would be NVVE, I believe, is probably worth at least a double from here. That's one I like. Another one is StarPeak, STPK. They have a deal with a electric battery storage company called STEM. This is actually a little bit cheaper, but it's the same sort of rationale. It's EV to sales ratio that as you calculate it, and I'm coming out with an article on this in InvestorPlace as well, is still very cheap compared to Blink and ChargePoint. Full disclosure, I have stake in NBAC and also SPE ChargePoint. Those are two that I like.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter at iHub_vision, and I'll see you again soon.